Welcome back to the Doug and Commish Show. We are here with our question and answer time. Feel free to tweet your questions to us. And we're going to start off with our first question. This is coming from I should have been ninth last year.
Okay.
So I don't really know what the meaning is behind that. But the question is does Nappy have the running backs to make a playoff run? That'd be Felix Jones, Frank Gore, and Tim Hightower.
Oh boy, should have been ninth. I'm gonna say yes because I'm a big Hightower fan.
Mm-hmm.
I also like Felix Jones, the 3 games a year that he's healthy. I don't think that it's his running backs necessarily that's going to be the reason that he does end up winning the division.
Okay.
But they're not going to hurt him. I think they are a plus to his team.
Are you worried about injuries with these guys? Because these guys do have injury history.
Yeah, that is one of the small problems. You know, you got Felix Jones is just as fragile as can be.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Hightower's got a situation brewing in Washington with Helu, or whatever his name is, taking some carries from him. So there's some issues there. I mean, like I said, it's not Nappy's strong point, but they're a plus for him.
All right, next question comes from at Homeless Man Art. So again, I don't really know where these people come up with these crazy names. But the question is new guy going to get beat by less than 50 this week?
Oh, boy. Well, he's not going to win.
Okay.
But I don't think he's going to lose by more than 50. So, yeah, I mean, he'll keep it, within a respectable range of maybe 15-ish this week.
Yeah, stay tuned because we'll be previewing that game shortly against Doughboy. Our next question is at Fork My Pizza and asks, does Toilet Town have a roster that can legitimately get him to the playoffs?
Fork My Pizza, that's a great question because I don't mind the Toilet Town roster.
No, keep in mind he doesn't have Charles anymore.
I'm still okay with the roster. Sean Green is an okay, touchdown guy. Like, he's not the end of the world as a substitute.
Mm-hmm.
It's the roster isn't the problem.
You're going to say the GM, aren't you?
I think it could be more the GM. So the roster I'm okay with. Let's just see how DJ deals with substitutions, who starts where, and trades.
Our next question comes from at John Wooden Has Nothing on Me.
Okay.
And the question is this. Does working with the Boykies hurt Soldier's ability to GM?
No, it doesn't. From the experience that I've had in talking to the GM of the Soldiers is both of his jobs, his previous job and his present job, he doesn't really do anything in either.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it affects his GM ability at all. As one GM told us about this week, Chapman would always run around and act like he was busy last week to feel important.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, at his old job.
Mm-hmm.
So that probably doesn't change in his new job. If anything, it might help him a little bit.
Do you remember that Seinfeld episode where George thought he was getting dumber? Or maybe it was Elaine, I can't remember.
Elaine was getting dumber.
That's where I kind of wonder if that's where this question kind of stemmed from. Next question, kind of a different one. It's on the football topic a little bit.
Okay.
But it's from at Gainty1. And Michelle Beadle, hot or not? I'm so confused.
Oh,
now,
man.
Michelle Beadle is the hostess also on Sports Nation with Colin Cowherd.
Okay.
So you give your opinion, I'll give mine here. Go ahead.
Doug, I'm going to give it a not hot.
Okay.
Just not my style, so I'm going to give it a not hot. But, if like Jim, Gordon, or Sass wanted to give it a hot, I wouldn't be upset with that.
I think she's hot. That's just the bottom line. She seems to know sports, seems like a fun-loving gal. Big turnoffs are the fact that she likes the Jets and loves her some Mark Sanchez. So I'm just not feeling it there. But other than that, I'd give her the classification of hot. Can't beat a girl who likes sports.
I don't know about that.
All right, next. Our next question comes from at Silent Partner and wants to know, what does white trash bring to the GFO? Like, we always hear about the founders. I think this is maybe where this question is going to. always hear about one of the founders and blah blah blah. But what does white trash actually bring to the GFO?
His basement is cold,
Mm-hmm.
and we do have activities there,
Mm-hmm.
and
All right, so let's move on to our next one. The next one is at No Trading with Me.
okay,
I believe that's what it is.
probably.
And the question is to Desk Jockey, or about Desk Jockey. When is Chris Johnson going to pick it up?
Oh man, I mean, you know what I feel and how I feel about the Johnson.
Yes.
We all know how I feel. So now that I don't play him for a good 11 more weeks, I'm pretty confident he's going to come out of his shell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was talking to a couple other GMs here recently about the Chris Johnson situation, and they were saying that they don't think that he trained during the offseason because he was worried about getting hurt,
Mm-hmm.
which would affect his big contract, which is what this was all about. I think there could be some validity to that. So to get into football shape, it takes a while. If it's not this week, it's coming soon.
All right, and our final question comes from at Mary Smith. She said she was a big Facebook fan and also a big fan of the Shula. So hopefully this answers your question, Mary. I'm a huge fan of the Shula. Why are the Shula teams trading within each other while they're still in divisional play? Would you do that?
Mary, thank you for being a fan of the GFO first, and secondly for your question. You know, it's about making your team better, and if both teams make themselves better, you know, I mean, you got to do it. And in this case, it's a rare case. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
It's a very rare case, especially when they're playing this week. It's very rare, but I do believe that both teams filled voids that they had. Both teams did get better. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Is both GMs truly believed that they did, in fact, make their team better.
Well, later on this afternoon, we had another trade between Show and Nipples as well. So just feel the same way about that one too.
I do. I mean, you're trading irrelevant backup running back, so that's not. I mean, that's probably
Well,
just.
Let me ask you a question. This is just from my own thing. How do you feel about trading position for position? Because I've heard some GMs say that they would rather. There's no point in trading position for position. They would rather trade quarterback for running back, quarterback for wide receiver, that type of thing. Do you see any bringing? Do you understand that?
I don't have a problem with it. You know, in 08, 06, I can't remember exactly what year it was, but I drafted Schaub in the 7th round, and the pick after me was Jake. He picked Eli Manning. Once he picked Eli Manning, I knew I wanted Eli Manning, and immediately traded. Schaub had a horrible year. Eli had a great year. It worked out position for position.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, when you're trading backups, you're just kind of shooting from the hip, hoping that somebody gets injured. You know, Sproles actually sees the field. Reggie Bush probably not so much anymore. Needs an injury. I don't know. I mean, it's preference. I don't have a problem with it.
All right. Well, that will conclude the question and answer time. We'll be right back with the Week 3 previews.